And we're live. Welcome everybody to the Lakers Lounge. It's actually a lounge atmosphere, right? I got myself a nice, well-timed glass of wine. Aaron is drinking something clear, which is
I mean,
a new
all
one.
that should indicate is I have consumed everything that was already at
All the
mom's
brown
house.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that you need to know about that.
And
I
Raj,
bought
I
a
would
bottle of Hennessy
imagine.
yesterday, and I made au poivre, steak frites, and au poivre sauce. So that took a little bit of that, and then my brother and I drank some, and then I couldn't find any white wine this morning, and so I put some Hennessy in the gravy. So there's no Hennessy left. Excuse
Man,
me, unnamed
well,
cognac.
unnamed cognac for one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and man, that's always the worst feeling, right? When you run out of the go-to liquor, like that's like my go-to liquor is Sazerac whiskey. That's what I make my old
Yep.
fashions with,
Yep.
and unnamed rye whiskey.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, like running out of it when I go to my decanter and it's either one drink left or just empty. It's the worst feeling because you're like, I was out and about anyway. I could have just gotten a bottle and
You know what I should have done, because there are copious amounts of red wine in this house, so I should have just had some red wine, but I didn't think of it in time. Yeah,
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to drink or not, so like I made a
with the two.
pineapple smoothie.
Are you kidding me? With the two of us? Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I feel like I'm still, a rookie. I was like,
have you never listened to or seen an episode?
No,
of this?
most definitely, yeah. But
Are you kidding me?
I made a
and by the way, this
smoothie,
is called
so-
this is a holiday in and of itself, and it is called Blackout Wednesday.
yeah,
And this is 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's 6 p.m. for you.
And we're in the Lakers Lounge.
Right.
Lounge.
We usually, Anthony and I drink at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, noon my time.
Yeah,
But
sure.
yeah, what's funny, Raj? I swear to God, I was gonna say I'm drinking my red wine. Aaron is drinking his. Is it tequila?
No, I finished that also. So we're really bottom of the barrel here. It's gin. I'm drinking gin.
That's a Christmas drink, though. That's a good that's a holiday
Yeah.
drink. And then
Basically, there's nothing brown and it's not vodka, because
Yeah.
vodka I don't drink.
yeah, I'm not really.
I mean, I don't really drink gin either, but here we are.
I was literally gonna say I'm drinking my stuff, Aaron's drinking his stuff, and Raj is I'm sure drinking something pineapple or apple, like apple
pineapple
juice,
smoothie.
and actually
You're trying to like clean out the organs or something? Is this like a
No,
health
so
kind of
yesterday
deal,
I went and bought a Ninja like fruit blender, and
Okay.
it's like the coolest thing in
sponsored?
the world. Oh yeah, sorry, unnamed blender.
thank you.
And it's just the most amazing thing in the world. I made like a fruit smoothie today, and I just feel amazing. It tastes really good. So
It's the
that's what I'm
biggest
drinking.
the biggest drinking night of the year.
Yeah, it's called Blackout
We're doing
Wednesday.
a live show that is a lounge,
Did not
and
know
Raj
that.
is like, "Am I allowed to drink?"
Right. The most offensive part in all of this is it means he doesn't listen to any other show on the
No,
feed.
I definitely listen.
Specifically
No.
ours.
I'm gonna start I'm just gonna start saying random stuff about Raj in our shows just to see if he mentions it the next time he and I do
think
spaces.
the first time, it may have been my first show, the first time we did the hook, and we had to test Sabrina to see if she was listening about the ring. Yeah, I think we did that. So we're gonna have to start dropping those in on every other member of the Silver Screen and Roll family, just to see who's paying attention and who isn't.
Well, I wanted to clear something up before we start the show. So the last lounge, I think that I listened to, and you guys were going through Aaron when you had the misstep on the treadmill.
Yes.
And then I somehow got involved in there. But Anthony, you said you thought I was 5'4". I just want to clear up in case like my future wife is listening. Like I'm like 5'7.5", 5'8". So I just want to clear that up. I am not 5'4".
You better take that 5'8", brother.
Yeah. The half is like
you can round. What you actually mean is you're like 5'7.25". So you call yourself 5'7.5", so you can round that to 5'8".
Yeah.
No,
I remember I used to work at Men's Warehouse, and I used to one of the things that I had to do a lot was measure guys up. Huh?
Say I guarantee it.
Oh, I have a story about that guy. But
I've heard he's among the worst human beings anyone's ever met.
He seemed chill enough when I met him.
Yeah,
almost too
another
chill.
buddy of mine worked there in high school for like 3 days, and the dude would come in and he was just like, apparently he was, well, whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but so yeah, so we were at Men's Warehouse. I would measure guys up for tuxedos, for weddings and proms and whatever. And my favorite was guys coming in who were easily like 5'6" tops, who would say like, I'm 5'9", and I'm like, look, man, I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". This is not your
Hinge profile, are you?
Yeah, like look here, Mark Wahlberg. Like, you were not.
Have you seen? There's a video. It's on the internet. It's so there's a wedding party, like a bunch of groomsmen, and they go in to get their tuxes for this wedding.
Oh yeah.
And there's one guy who is smaller. Let's call him not even. No, he's not really smaller. He's shorter. And so the guy that's fitting him goes through the whole process of measuring it out, and he goes, okay, and then he goes back and grabs a toddler's tuxedo and brings it out to him on a little hanger and goes, go try this on.
The dude just falls over.
And his boys are dying.
Yeah, I used to love messing with, especially if it was multiple guys coming in at the same time. They would always like, because you have to measure the chest, right? And that's the one, like, that's, you go like, I wear right now, I wear like a 42, 44 regular.
Sure it's not short?
Nope, I'm 5'10". Okay. And an actual 5'10". Look, man, I'm long time married. I have 2 kids. There's no reason to lie about how tall I am.
Okay, fair enough.
But like, my favorite was like, I'd measure up, I'd measure up guys like around their chest. And I would say to like, all right, so and so, you're a 40, and then the next guy would come in and he'd just kind of like puff up a little bit, and he'd be like, "Hey, look,
by the way, that's not going to help.
You're going to have to stand there the whole time with your chest out like this."
Also, so that's not going to help when you actually are wearing the jacket.
Right?
It's going to make it look ridiculous.
So men are stupid creatures.
I am actually somewhere between 6'1.5" and 6'1". Of course, I call myself 6'1", but I'm like 6'6" in your program.
I wanted to clear that up for future wife subscribe to the Silver Screen Roll feed. Like, just want them to know I'm not 5'4".
Setting them standards high, huh?
By blogger height, Aaron is like 7 feet.
Following.
Yeah. All right.
Well, what else? Of course, they would be listening to the feed.
Of course.
So,
there are literally 8 girls, women, females, whatever. There are literally 8 of them listening presently.
Maybe.
And we are thankful for all 8 of you.
I just like picture Raj's wedding.
2 of them are my mom and my sister.
Raj's wedding. His future wife is going to be like, there's a good man in here somewhere. And then
that
Connor has that long and luxurious hair. You could say Raj, there's a juggernaut in Raj somewhere.
So we are going to, I don't know necessarily how long we're going to be going live with this. It is the night before Thanksgiving. I do want to get us out of here at a decent time. But we do have quite a bit to talk about. Apparently, according to some reports, this time coming from Dave McMenamin of ESPN, the Lakers are looking beyond 20 games, now looking ahead to December 15th, which, we'll just keep on kicking that can. No urgency, just a 40-year-old LeBron and Anthony Davis.
We're doing this already.
Yeah,
this is like me and you arguing around the Thanksgiving table. We're just like,
it is.
We're just LeBron. You're just gonna sneak a 40-year-old LeBron in there. Huh?
There was some politician apparently who like put together a list of accomplishments that Biden has made in his first like term or whatever like that. And he was like, for those of you who are going to talk about this at Thanksgiving, I'm like, one, you're just ruining people's Thanksgiving. Like, it's just, you walk into Thanksgiving with that on your body, on your person. You are the person who ruined Thanksgiving. 2, like, honestly, that's getting engagement, and it did. It got a ton of engagement, which makes me think like there's a whole bunch of really sad Thanksgivings out there. Yeah, so I would much rather sit there.
I'm a Democrat, kind of, but pretty liberal. It's not a long list.
It's just
I voted for the man. And it's not a long list.
It never is. Anyway,
nobody accomplishes anything.
That's a whole different. Yeah, they are employed to not accomplish anything. But yeah, we I could just picture Aaron and me at Thanksgiving just yelling across the table,
arguing about
just screaming about Rob
LeBron's
Pelinka.
age.
He doesn't know the CBA. Yes, he does. He was an agent. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, like, actually, Raj, this is where I really wanted to start the conversation with you. You love the basketball part of this. Like, you went
Absolutely.
back, you rewatch games, you actually really care about, like, the stuff that's going on the court. Not to say that Aaron and I don't, or that most people don't. It's just that, like, you get like audibly annoyed when trade stuff comes up in your Spaces shows. And it's a really bad pairing to do your show with me on those Spaces shows, because I can't focus on anything other than this shitty roster that the Lakers have put together heading into the season. And so, Raj, I wanted to start here with you, because I think this is something you and Aaron can really riff on. But, like, how frustrating is it to go into the season and have Anthony Davis putting up literal Wilt numbers, like numbers that Wilt Chamberlain was being able to put together? And, you have LeBron. Obviously, he's missed some time, but, like, he's still LeBron freaking James. So how annoying is it for you to have to, like, always circle back to trade rumors, trade speculation, trade this, trade that, because that's the oxygen in the room right now surrounding the Lakers?
Yeah, it's very annoying, honestly. Like, every time Miles Turner, Buddy Hield play well, their stats come up, their combined stats come up, their combined rebounds, how many 3-pointers they made. And
Did you see the dunk he made today?
No, I didn't get to watch.
Okay, I'm going to grab that while you're talking. Go ahead.
I mean,
they're 10-6, which is just like, that's
yes.
They've been a pretty good team to start. No, like, it gets annoying, and I think you were sitting on the 20 games thing for a long time, and I always thought that was just something, like, maybe they'd look at it there, but I thought this team would have to show.
Just hit his 6th 3-pointer and has 28 points in this one. The Lakers made 4 yesterday. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Raj.
Yeah, they were 2 for 16 if you take out the Russ threes. But yeah, like, it gets frustrating, but I get it. Like, the talent disparity that we have is something that everyone's going to focus on. But, like, I think we're starting to, like, we're 5-11, so it's hard to, like, see those positives and see them in the results. But I think, like, we're starting to find stuff. And I always thought this team had to, and Aaron, I think you can speak on the more, like, what they actually believe, but, like, this team had to show some kind of fight or being able to, like, keep their head above water. You brought up AD putting up those, like, Wilt numbers. That's been for, like, the last 2 weeks, right? Like, he's still, he was, like, the best defensive player to start the year, but the offense was still up and down. LeBron obviously wasn't shooting the ball well, and he has, like, a crazy minus to start the year, which is just unlike him. So I think they want to see, like, what those two look like, and I think we got, like, Lonnie Walker's legit. I feel like Austin Reeves kind of fit into that starting role. I think Troy Brown's played okay. He had his worst game in Phoenix. Thomas Bryant looks like a good, like, backup big. Like, I think we're starting to get core pieces of a team that kind of makes sense, and then you can kind of move Russ and the picks for whatever and go all in. But yeah, like, I just think this can is gonna be kicked all the way to the trade deadline. Like, that's how I kind of feel they're gonna win on this.
So we talked
all right,
about
so
this.
Here's a Miles Turner clip. I got to show this.
Oh man.
Is that McDaniels he got? Because he destroyed somebody. Yeah.
He has 6 3-pointers, 28 points, and he just murdered Jaden McDaniels on live TV for everybody. Couldn't use that guy. Nope.
So there's so much going on here. I mean, there's so much nuance in it, and there's so many different factors here. And part of it is how the other teams that you think of as trade targets, trade partners, let's call it, how they're playing, right? And we've all heard of Indiana packages, and that Indiana is definitely going to tank for Wembanyama. Same of Utah, and Utah is back leading the West, and Indiana is 10-6. So there's a bunch of schools of thought. Is it too late to tank for those teams? Should they even be tanking? Because
yes,
I mean, in Utah's case, they lead the West. I mean, it's kind of hard to, like, start tanking when you trade away your pieces when you lead the conference.
Okay,
that
but, like,
yeah, go ahead.
My
point
fans...
is, if you're thinking of kicking the can down the road, if that's what you want to call it, it does allow, and especially because the Lakers, as Raj said, are starting to figure out some things that look like they're working. I will admit, and I sent a tweet out about this yesterday, there was a time that it was Anthony Davis, and not just 4 guards, but 4 small guards were on the floor. Yeah. And that went about as well as you would expect.
4 guys like
Austin Reeves was at power forward.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't even think Austin was on the floor. No. I don't think Austin was on the floor. I think it was, who was it? It was,
I know
definitely none. Yeah,
it was Schroeder. I think it was Schroeder, Russ, none.
Pat.
Who was the 4th guy? And it might have been, I don't know if it was Pat. I think it was Pat. I mean, it wasn't just 4 guards, it was 4 small guards.
Yeah, Pat was at power forward.
Yes, Pat Beverly was playing power forward. Mm-hmm. But as Raj mentioned, right, contrary to what we were hearing and seeing in preseason and over the summer, Thomas Bryant has looked like a solid piece. Troy Brown has been good, but he hasn't been so much lately. But all of these kind of moving targets, I mean, to be fair, I do understand calling it kicking the can down the road, but it allows you to gather more information about what you have, what's working, what isn't working, and what everybody else has working, it isn't working, and some new trade partners may emerge, etc. So I do understand, but Anthony, I do think the sentiment is fair, but it does allow you to hopefully make a more informed decision. And as we talked about on, I don't know if it was on the lounge last week or if it was on the hook, that the Lakers, this stretch of games for the Lakers, I didn't think any specific game, starting with the Kings game, was a must win, but I thought this was a must win a bunch of games in this stretch. And so far, the Lakers have. They haven't dominated so much that you say, okay, now 100% we're in, especially with the LeBron
injury.
They haven't
had LeBron.
Yes, but that's part of the calculus also, is because if LeBron and AD aren't healthy, none of it matters. I don't care who you trade for. None of it matters. The Lakers aren't good enough to do anything unless they have both LeBron and AD, hopefully AD playing like this, and LeBron able to play at full capacity. And then I think there's an argument that it makes sense to do something, maybe even something major, to give this team a shot. Are the Lakers, with whatever trade, are they going to get past, 6th or 5th? No. But there is an argument that I will listen to that with Anthony Davis playing at this level, which is absolutely an MVP level, if LeBron is able to be healthy and play at his normal high level, then I think you have a shot, even as a 5th or 6th seed. You have a shot against anybody, in which case I think it's probably more worth it. But LeBron's missed 5 games in a row. I mean, so we don't know. And this team has not dominated against weak competition. This team is not dominated in a stretch where you say, oh, yeah, no, there's something here. It's trending that way, but I don't think we can make any definitive statements quite yet.
I'll make a definitive statement.
I'm sure you.
Pacers down 5 halfway through the 3rd quarter. Downtown Indianapolis.
Good pop.
Turner.
That's pretty definitive. I think the Lakers could use somebody capable of doing that. They had Patrick Beverly playing power forward yesterday. Patrick Beverly playing power forward. Could you imagine Patrick Beverly standing where Jaden McDaniels was? Would Miles Turner just like jump over Pat Bev there?
No, because we saw how physical Patrick Beverly was last night.
My favorite, I tweeted out that I thought Patrick Beverly should be suspended for 66 games after that shove, and people took it serious. Like somebody tried to say like, oh, I bet this guy was super quiet when Jokic pushed Markieff, and I'm like, what? Anywho,
you do like Joey White boys.
Well, Ham has no choice, right? Like, who is he gonna play in those sets? Like, we started
himself.
The 4th again. Yeah, but we had like a 4-guard set to start the 4th as well, and it only survived like 3 minutes. But like Max Christie was out, which is a scary thing to say, but like Max Christie was out, JTA is still out, so like we have no other.
I mean, it is a scary thing to say. You're depending on a minimum guy and a 2nd-round rookie. But those happen to be about the only, other than LeBron, about the only 6'6" to 6'9" guys that do wing-ish things on the roster.
Yeah, exactly. And the guards that we have that we thought were supposed to be, and again, Dennis Schroeder was kind of billed as a lead guard. He was obviously hurt. Kendrick Nunn has looked awful. I think they were expecting stuff out of him. So you have two guys that you were expecting that were supposed to be give you like non-minimum level production haven't came through as well. So like I think they're finding stuff, and Max Christie has played well. GTA, hopefully he comes back, but yeah, I just don't see a trade coming until like the team at least continues to show a little bit more competence than they've had, right? Like I just don't see a deal coming in the near future until then. As many as Miles Turner dunks that you post, Anthony. Like I just don't think those are changing the front office.
I just feel like it's pretty ironic, like painfully ironic, that the front office is demanding competence after the offseason that they just had, right? Like that's, if they're demanding, like, again, it's the, I keep on making this joke, but it's the Eric Andre tweet, right? They're the ones that are, shooting at the roster and then telling LeBron and AD, like, how could you have not fixed this roster? How could you not carry this roster? And like we're worried about LeBron's groin. Yeah, eventually he's going to wear down, given everything that he had to do to keep this thing afloat while he was healthy. I'm concerned about the same thing here with AD, that eventually he hit his funny bone, and I thought he broke his hand was going to fall off. According to Reggie Miller, it might have actually fallen off. Like when you're asking two of these guys to carry this roster and do the kinds of things that they have to do to carry this roster, if you're hoping that they stay healthy while maintaining that Herculean effort, it feels like unfair to the guys that you're asking that of.
And you could be right. Maybe you're right. I don't like that is a fair argument to make, and maybe you're right. However, so when I used to, because I'm home here in San Francisco, my brother and I, back when I was in high school, when I finally got a car, my brother and I would go to A's games. We're A's fans. So my brother and I would go to A's games. We'd drive across the Bay Bridge. And when we'd come back, there was a show called, Rod, you're definitely too young for this. Anthony, you may remember this. But there was a show called Love Lines with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew, who's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't know it at the time, but he's a weirdo.
Both those guys are weirdos.
Yeah, might be right. So, Raj, basically the show was, it was a call-in show, and Adam Carolla is a comedian, and Dr. Drew was a doctor, theoretically. And people would call in, and it was pretty ridiculous. And they would seek like sex advice, relationship advice, etc.
Okay.
And so my brother and I would listen to it, and it was kind of like Jerry Springer, where you would just watch it to make yourself feel better about whatever you had going on in life. It's not that bad. So we would just listen on the way home from A's games and just cackle. But the one thing that stuck with me is Dr. Drew had a saying, and he would tell people this all the time. You have to deal with reality on reality's terms. Mm-hmm. So like all of this should, and the world should be this, all sure. But you have to deal with reality on reality's terms. Anthony, I'm not telling you you're wrong, but the roster is what it is right now. And so that doesn't mean that automatically you have to do something just because the roster isn't working now. You can compound an error and make it worse.
I don't think you can compound an error with the guy who just made another three, by the way. So he's 7 of 9 from 3-point range tonight, 31 points, 7 boards.
He's having a great game, and he's been damn good this year. Miles Turner has been damn good this year. Not as a trade target, none of that. Just as a basketball player, Miles Turner has been damn good. I can say he's been damn good. Buddy Hield has shot the hell out of the ball too. Fine. Yep. That's all fine. I'm not disputing that. But to say that, like, yes, the roster is this way, and so you have to do something so LeBron and AD don't have to carry this weight, that sounds good, and you should be right, and you are right. But that doesn't mean you just have to because of that. You have to do something, anything, to lessen their load because of that. There still has to be a calculus. You can't throw good money after bad. And the roster is what it is. Let's deal with reality on reality's terms.
But the problem with that, though, is part of this reality is the person who could pull the trigger on these trades could do something here, right? Like there is something that could be done. Like I'm sorry, I just don't believe that in this reality as it exists, that there is nothing whatsoever that can be done currently.
I'm not telling you there's nothing that can be done. No, but I'm telling you, I'm not sure there is something that can be done with the conditions as they are now that is worth it. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you there's nothing that can be done. Well,
the second thing, though, is again, like, yeah, we can that's totally fair to tell people to deal with reality on reality's terms, right? But like, it does let those responsible for this reality off the hook, right? That's why politicians always say, like, you know, oh well, yeah, I'm not here. I'm not having this conversation to look back. I'm trying to be productive and move forward. Well, it's like,
that's
well,
my Mark.
You're
Mark
the one
McGuire
who fucked up.
in Congress.
Yeah, like if you're the one who screwed this up, of course you don't want to talk about
this conversation. I don't.
Like it's like I guess for me, you know, and this is why I started where we started this conversation with Raj, is because like I would love, like I'm so sick of singing the same freaking song. We've been doing shows now for 2 years. 2 years now, essentially, that are the same song over and over and over again of when are they going to fix this mistake? When are they going to fix this mistake? When are they going to fix this mistake? And for the entirety of those 2 years, it's been some new excuse, some broader horizon, that you know, some greener pasture, that after the trade deadline, or when you get to the trade deadline, more teams will be interested last year. And then after the trade deadline, and well, this upcoming offseason, you'll have another first-round pick, so you have more to work with, and maybe bring more back for Russ, and it'll be an expiring at that time, so maybe more teams will be more interested in trading for it. And then heading into this season, it was like, well, we got to wait the first 20 games to see what the team looks like. And it's like, we know what that team is going to look like 20 games in. Sure enough, it looks like we thought it was going to look like. And then now it's the same thing where it's like, well, we got to see what deals look like on December 15th when more players who were signed this offseason are available. It's like, yes, in theory, in vacuums, this all makes a ton of sense. But like, what it does is every conversation that we have about this team and everything that these guys read about this season, the backdrop to all of it is, well, at one point, are they going to fix this stuff? Hey, there she is.
Say hi to Mighty. Come here, Boogie. Say hi. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, Boogie.
Say hi right here. Say hi into the microphone right here.
Hi.
Boogie, do you think the Lakers should trade 27 and 29?
Say hi. Say hi in the microphone. All right. You guys get whatever. Get whatever you want. What are you playing? All right. All right. You guys have fun.
Kids are the best.
They think that's actually the Boogie L, the older one. The championship ring belongs to her, and she will tell you. By the way, those might be the two biggest Laker fans in the family. She will tell you that ring belongs to her.
Are they Miles Turner fans? Like, have they watched Buddy Hield this year?
I'm not. You know, I'll ask Boogie. I think she's currently been breaking down Detroit Piston tape. So I'm gonna have to find out about. I'm gonna have to ask her.
Well, ask her about Sadiq Bey. Apparently, he's available. So
I tried to pick the most like random, obscure NBA team to not get anyone in trouble, but here we are.
I'm a machine.
Boogie is breaking down Orlando Magic tape. Now insert whoever you want into that.
But yeah, I guess like and we're gonna get out of here fairly quick because I do want to get off into our holiday weekend festivities. But like that's the part of this that I think is the most frustrating, is this idea that somehow the Lakers can play through all of this with a roster that everybody knows was put together with a Russell Westbrook trade in mind, and that like we got to see if we're 500 come December 15th. I know that's not going to be the case. Like we know what that's going to look like. The only games that the Lakers have won so far, they've either caught somebody by surprise or they've beaten a team that's going to be low lottery.
That's reductive, though. You've decided they caught them by surprise because the Lakers won? That's kind of reductive.
Well, because you're telling me that the Lakers outclassed or out-talented somebody this year?
No, but the Lakers have also lost games that they had better talent.
Kings are playing well, actually.
Kings are really good.
Yeah. The Blazers are playing well. Those are the two. Yeah.
I mean, Utah has a bunch of good players, but
they're really good this year.
They are good, but that's the thing. Utah doesn't
right.
have more talent than the Lakers. Utah just has
a
bunch more like mid to high rotation level guys.
They have more NBA players. The Lakers, they have
more high level,
devoid of NBA
high level
players.
rotation guys than the Lakers do. Yes.
I want to. All right, we'll stop talking about the trade stuff because it's a circular argument. I'm glad we all agree that the Lakers should trade both of their first rounders for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. But I do want to ask Aaron about this because you spent more time closer to the league than Raj and myself, and I'm watching this the way that Indiana's playing tonight. They got blown out, right? But they got beaten 115-101. Again, Miles Turner finished with 7 3-pointers, 7 of 9.
Wait, Indiana lost through all these tapes that you were showing, like they were down in this game?
Yeah, it looks like Tyrese Halliburton didn't play very well. He went 4 of 15. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, I want to know, like, with the way that Indiana has played so far this year and the way that Utah has played this year, we know that the guys who are playing in the NBA or anybody playing in professional sports are some of the most competitive people on the face of the planet.
Yes.
And I kind of wonder if all of the noise of, like, yeah, the teams that these guys are playing for do not want to win games. That's the conversation about both of those teams heading into the season. And I want to know, Aaron, like, is that something that NBA players take personally? Like, is it like a
yes?
Raj,
yes.
Like, I don't know, Raj, you might be too young for this, but did you ever see? And you don't like anything that isn't basketball, so you definitely didn't see it. But Major League, did you ever watch the baseball movie Major League?
No, but I did see that other baseball movie.
Wesley Snipes is in it. Tom Berenger,
yeah. But like, so essentially,
Charlie Sheen.
In Major League, in Major League, basically the
spoiler alert from 30 years ago, by the way.
I think. Well, other than Raj, just about everybody has seen this movie. But so, like, in this movie, essentially, the players find out that the owner wants to lose as much as possible so that they can strip things down and sell and move from Cleveland to, like, Vegas or something like that, something on the West Coast, and the players find this out and they take it so personally. The owner of that team was actually a former model, so they actually put up her, like, fat head with, like, stickers that can be stripped off with every win that they get. And so eventually they go on this crazy run. They have this incredible season because it's a baseball movie. And the entire foundation of the movie is these super competitive guys are doing whatever they can to stick it to management for daring to plan their entire organizational structure on, these guys suck, we're going to lose, and then I can be in Vegas next year. And Aaron, the part that I'm kind of wondering is, like, not obviously is that movie a documentary, but is that something that, like, those guys in Utah, those guys in Indiana, like, they are probably enjoying this season more than any other season they've played into this point, right?
So there's like a foundational issue here, and that is that organizations tank, but teams/players do not. Especially because all these guys are playing for their next opportunity, their next contract, and have pride, and, as you alluded to, are some of the most competitive people on planet Earth and are not used to losing games and do not like to lose. It does seem like the guys in Utah specifically are having a ton of fun. They seem like
which is
maybe
crazy,
the most cohesive team in the league. And guys will tell you they don't pay attention to any outside noise, or they don't see what is said about them. They don't hear anything. They're lying. Everybody knows what is being said. Everybody has an idea of their standing in the league. And that's why for those teams, it becomes like the beginning of the year becomes so important. Because, as I said, like, it seemed like Utah was probably on a path. I mean, look, they traded away their three best players, probably.
Certainly, there was Danny Ainge saying, like, "What would give you any indication we were trying to lose?" Well, you traded
your three best players.
Stars, yeah.
I don't. You traded the three best players. Unfortunately for Danny, he got back too many like mid to high level rotation NBA players back
who can shoot, and they have
who all like sort of fit, even though it seemed like they didn't fit. And shout out to the coaching staff there for making all of that fit. So,
and then Lauri Markkanen became an all-star. Like, that's kind of right. That's
Lauri Markkanen turned into Dirk Nowitzki with a handle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think the main point is, I don't think it's about to use your Major League reference. I don't think it's about sticking it to management for these teams. I think it is about internal pride and a frustration, right? These guys are playing, they'll play for each other, and they're playing for their next contract. And like, they don't want, like, Larry Markkinen doesn't want Utah to draft somebody that's going to take his job, right? It's about self-preservation and winning. I don't think it's so much about sticking it to the organization. So what organizations will do is, you saw it in, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a top 5 player in the NBA this year and has been a top 20 or 25 player the last 2 years. Well, okay, he has a mysterious plantar fasciitis or some knee thing that lingers, or a sprained ankle, and Lou Dort has. So organizations will play guys more minutes than they should, play combinations in the guise of searching for something that they know are not optimum. But when guys are on the court, you are not going to find anybody that's not going to give you everything they got.
Well, I would like to show you Damian Jones playing this year. All right.
I mean, of all people.
Yeah, I know. Aaron, it hurts. All right. I want to wrap up on this last 5 minutes or so here. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Today, by the time you guys are listening to this, to avoid your families. Favorite Thanksgiving dish, or we can expand it to holiday dish, because like Christmas, Thanksgiving, there's a lot of there's a lot of carryover between those two things. So, Aaron, you're the cook. I'll let you start on this one. What's the best dish?
Well, so if you're saying Thanksgiving, it's a different answer than Christmas, because my favorite of any holiday is my prime rib. I make an herb crusted and mustard and herb crusted and horseradish crusted prime rib. That's pretty good. But for Thanksgiving, in my family, we don't really mess with. I'm this year for the first time smoking a turkey breast, but like 4 or 5 years ago, we gave up on turkey because it's not any good.
No dark meat?
Turkey's not good. Turkey is dry.
Whoa, dark meat is good.
Turkey is good. So what we do, we get a honey baked ham. This year,
you're doing the thing that the Lakers do. You're like,
we used to deep fry turkey.
Cook the worst part of the turkey and say turkey is bad. Like that's what the Lakers did this offseason.
No, not the way I do it. My smoked turkey breast is delicious. You're a Texas guy. It is a Central Texas Franklin barbecue style turkey breast, which is delicious, I assure you. But we've tried, the roasting the turkey for many, many years, frying the turkey. Turkey's just not as good as chicken. So what we do now is I'm doing the turkey breast smoked. We get a honey baked ham. We fry a chicken. We roast the chicken. But the key to Thanksgiving is the sides are better. So I'm making collard greens, mac and cheese. And by the way, if you don't bake the mac and cheese, it's not mac and cheese. Mashed potatoes. I said the collard greens. We have fried corn. We have cornbread dressing.
Stuffing.
Yeah, cornbread dressing, of course.
Okay.
My favorite is probably the mac and cheese, though. I would say my favorite of all of it for Thanksgiving is the mac and cheese. And if you don't bake the mac and cheese, it's not mac and cheese.
Raj, do you have a go-to there?
So I was gonna say mac and cheese. That's actually my favorite. I'm a big sides guy as well. So mac and cheese or mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. I think a lot of people find it very boring, but I'm a big mashed potatoes and gravy guy. So I don't cook though. So Aaron, I have to come over and have your. I gotta come over and have your dishes. But yeah, big mashed potatoes.
I like Raj saying at the beginning of this that he's hoping his future wife is listening to his shows, and then he announces, "I don't cook.
I'm 5'7.5" and I don't cook." I yell about basketball on the internet.
Real bachelor.
Oh man. Here, yeah. So, I think mac and cheese is the most boring plate on the table.
Not mine.
I can't get into it. I can't get into it.
Maybe
it is the people who are cooking it at the places that I've gone to. Like we did a chili cook-off last year. This time last year, my wife and I won. Shout out Jen putting chorizo in the chili. That was bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But we did a mac and cheese cook-off this year, and there was no discernible difference from plate to plate. It was just all.
There's with mine.
It's just what do you do? Because for me, if it's a pasta, I need some kind of red sauce in it. Like that's just my stance. It needs to have some kind of color to it, because otherwise it's not. It's really bland. It's a really bland dish.
Mine is not bland. So I put bacon and leeks in it. I have 5 or 6 cheeses. And one of the secret ingredients is a
Do you think Rob Pelinka cooks with
brown
leeks?
chipotle powder? I don't know if Rob cooks.
Do you think?
I don't know if Rob cooks at all. Actually, we haven't.
I know. Jeannie's. She really hates leeks in the organization. So, do you think that's something that she eats in the?
Leeks are delicious. I have no idea what you're referring to, but leeks are delicious. Leeks and unnamed cognac are delicious.
What's a leak?
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that before.
What is a leak?
Yeah.
Well, it's when like LeBron says, "Can you believe these guys are waiting till December 15th now?" Dave, get on Wendy's podcast and tell Lakers fans that this is the bullshit I'm doing
in the food leak. What is it? It kind of looks like it's from the onion family. It's kind of oniony, garlicky, and it kind of looks like an enormous green onion.
Got it. Okay. So I'll see you tomorrow or like Wednesday or when.
When's what?
So I'll see you tomorrow at your house or the other day,
I'm in San Francisco until Saturday probably.
Okay.
But next time when I'm in town, you can come over and I'll make you the mac and cheese with the leeks in it.
All right.
You got it.
Nice.
LEEKS. Raj, we can see your likes on Twitter still. We can still see your likes on Twitter. Be careful, brother.
I've ended that. That was after you told me.
Raj just figured out we can see his likes on Twitter.
What's the meme? Raj, Kurt Rambis, like finding out people can see the likes.
No.
On that note, I'm Anthony Irwin. That was Raj Paul and Aaron Larson. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.